Okay, so I think my phone got hot from me walking for an hour and it heated up. I I got to go further with this. So this parenting thing, like I said, as Father's Day is approaching, it's just heavy on my heart. Like any of you all that have followed me from any period of time, definitely read my book. No, I'm a daddy's girl. I loved my dad. It's not too many things you gonna find me saying bad about my dad, but one of the worst things and one of the biggest things he did do was talk about my mom in a negative way most of my life. And I'm not talking about my childhood, I'm talking about my life. Most of my life, he spoke negatively about my mom. He was bitter, he was hurt. The book I'm writing now goes into why he was like that. Let me just say, he was a hurt man. He was a hurt child who became a hurt man, never learned how to love women. His mom gave him away as a child. And so every woman he encountered, from encountering his mother, he mistreated. Think about that for those of you all who have been blessed to have sons. Because my grandmother gave my dad away and he never got an explanation from her. He asked for years and years, even in his adult life after I was grown, he asked her, why did she give him away? And because he felt some kind of way about that, he mistreated every woman he encountered. That's a fact. Didn't know how to love when he never got the proper love from the first woman he encountered. So back to my thing. My dad talked about my mom negatively most of my life. They divorced when I was 7. And it wasn't until after my mom died, man, like 2 weeks after my mom died, a little backdrop. Again, I'm a daddy's girl, so I would come visit my dad every Sunday. Well, about 2 weeks after my mom died, my dad beat me to visiting him on that Sunday. He rung my doorbell. He had my stepmom to drop him off. And he sat at my house for hours, you guys, and told me such wonderful stories, such fun memories of my mom. Now, explain to me why he never shared those things with me prior to that. Don't you know I would have been a healthier, happier child? I would have been a healthier, happier adult and parent had I known he felt that way about my mom back then. By the time he shared those things with me, Kayla was in the 11th grade. Jada, they 5 years apart, so Jada's in the 6th grade or whatever. I mean, I had already did a lot of damage to them by repeating that pattern of talking about their father in front of them, because that's what I was used to. My mom talked about my dad like a dog. My dad talked about my mama. I never heard anything good about either one of them from either one of them as I was growing up. And unfortunately, my mom died before my dad, so she didn't get the pleasure like my dad did of saying some nice things after he died, because she died before him. But I'm pleading with you guys as we go to our Father's Day, man, if you ain't got nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all about your children's parent, because maybe you're a guy and you're listening to me. Stop talking about your baby mama or your ex-wife in front of your children. Let's stop saying that the children are not paying attention, because they are. A lot of the stuff that we create with these generational curses is our fault. The reason why our children are messed up like this. And then I think about, like, we out here protesting for the rights of blacks, and we telling them how white people just keep mistreating us, which they do. Don't get me misconstrued with that. But it's hard to separate you telling your children, oh, look what the white man doing, and then you steady talking about what their dad or their mom is doing too, and you expect them to dislike the white man but don't dislike their father, who is half of them. It don't make good sense. It just don't add up to me. Now, if I'm wrong, I stand to be corrected. But in my little mind, it was hard for me to hear my parents talk about other people that mistreated them. Then they talked about each other, but I'm supposed to be able to separate the two. No, I didn't. I was darn near in my 40s or late 30s before I got to a place where I learned to like myself, then love myself, be okay with some bad decisions I made, and then learn how to forgive everybody, starting with myself. But I couldn't share this with you guys if I hadn't been set free. So I'm on the other side of freedom. I'm trying to get y'all there. So if y'all still got young parents, your children still young, I'm telling you, God telling me to share this with you all so you don't keep making the same mistakes I made, expecting better results. I'm exchanging my truth for your transformation. Like, do better. I mean, he was all that at some point. I don't care if he was just all that in the club. You slept with him the first night you met him, you got pregnant. Okay, well, he was all that for that moment. Or he was all that for 20 years. Or he was all that for 5 years. Whatever the case may be. Or she was all that. Let's stop talking about each other to our children and expecting them to be healthy, whole individuals, and expecting them to know how to love themselves, and expecting them to create an even better generation when we giving them the worst of the worst. That's my tea on that. I didn't mean to come on here long, but as I started driving, I got emotional because I started thinking, because I'm living now in the house that my dad lived in. And in this house for 26 years, he had nothing good to say about my mom. Nothing. He used to get mad at me. He would ask me, why did I forgive my mom? How did I have a good relationship with her as an adult? My truth for your transformation. I'm out of here. As you can tell, I needs to go take a bath.